So I absolutely believe that dating is meant to be difficult as a man. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now let me explain exactly what I mean by backing this up with science. So a woman produces one egg every 28 days from her ovaries when she ovulates, right? This happens every single month. Now, when a woman only produces only one egg every 28 days, don't you think she's gonna be very protective about that egg in terms of who can access it, what type of man can access it, and who that egg will be kind of given to biologically, right? It absolutely makes sense because that's what a woman produces every month. On the other hand, a man produces 15 to 200 million sperms in just one ejaculation. How nuts is that? You produce 15 to 200 million sperms for each ejaculation. When here she produces one egg every 28 days when she ovulates. Now, strictly from a logical perspective, it makes sense that a woman's gonna be very protective to that egg. That egg that she has is not going to be fertilized by just any sperm. She's gonna want the strongest of sperm and the best value sperm possible, right? It makes complete sense. And that's exactly why dating is meant to be difficult for men. If a woman is surrendering her ovaries in trust to a specific sperm, then it's not going to be easy. She's going to want to choose the best of the best. She's going to want to choose the strongest sperm, the most high value sperm. Now, when I say sperm fertilize an egg, I'm not talking about sexually in and of itself. I'm talking about from an evolutionary or from a biological perspective. Now, that's why dating is meant to be hard for a man. Now, that's exactly why I keep talking to men about how important it is, how crucial it is, how much of a priority it is for them to be high value men. You see, it sounds like this generic term, this overly used term, this cringe term, oh, I'm a high value man because they say so. No, it's way beyond that. If a woman is a high value woman, which means she's young, she's in her youth, she's beautiful, she has a nice figure, she's soft and nurturing and submissive like a feminine woman, right? That makes her high value. What makes you think she's going to choose an average man, right? Scientifically speaking, the whole egg and sperm concept that we just talked about. She's not. She's only going to choose the best of the best that she can get. Now, if you're one of those guys who has a bitter attitude towards women, like, oh, all women care about is your money, all women care about is your looks, all women care about is your muscles. If you think like that, chances are you think like that because you haven't been able to attract the type of women you want, which, no offense, but most likely means that you are not really a high value man. Either that, or there's a small chance that maybe you're a high value man, but you haven't been able to market yourself properly, or you haven't had the social skills or the dating skills to attract the type of woman properly. Either way, you have work to do. And most likely, like I said, you fall into the category of being perceived as a low value man to women. No offense, I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but it's definitely what you need to hear. The good news, however, is that any man and every man can become a high value man through a specific type of work that they do through an extended amount of time. And also, almost any man can do this with relative ease in a relatively short amount of time, not like 2 days, but relatively short amount of time. So just like I said a few videos ago about the guide, the step-by-step guide to become a high value man. The high value traits, or the traits that make a high value man, are structure and discipline, physical fitness, making decent money, good style, good looks, and social skills. Now, I know that all of this may be overwhelming to you, and you may feel like you have none of those traits above, but bear with me for just a second. Even if you don't believe that you have any of the traits above, you can still become a high value man in about 6 months' time with the right amount of work. Although each and every one of those traits that I mentioned is important, what I believe will make a huge difference to you is if you double down on what's known as your unfair advantage or your X factor. You see, within the 5 traits that I just mentioned to you, you will have an unfair advantage somehow God-given to you that has to do with one of those 5 things. Either you naturally have really good structure, discipline, you naturally, because of your career, because of your smarts or whatever, you're able to make good money, you naturally have a good physique with just a small amount of work, you have a really good physique, really sexy body, shredded, whatever it is. You have really good looks by nature, you're a very handsome man, that could be the case for you. Or number 5, you have really good social skills, really good dating skills, really good charisma. Whatever it is of those 5 things, you need to double down on the thing that you believe gives you an unfair advantage, which will be your X factor. When you double down on that thing for an extended amount of time, at least 6 months, you have to be willing to put the work in. Nothing's gonna come, by just happenstance or by magic. When you do that over an extended period of time, because you're so naturally gifted at this one thing, when you put work into this thing, you will get massive results and you will have an unfair advantage compared to other guys. So it won't necessarily feel like work to you. You know how some people just naturally, they're so charming, they're so charismatic, they can easily talk to people? That's a high value trait. Someone who's just hilarious, they're so funny, they just make everyone laugh. That's high value. Someone who's super confident, that's high value. Someone who makes a lot of money, that's high value. Someone who's just super competitive and always likes to win, that's high value. Someone who's just naturally very good looking and in good physical shape, that's high value. So men think that the only way that they can become high value is if they have looks like Brad Pitt, they make money like Jeff Bezos, they have charisma like Robert Downey Jr., they have muscles like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or they can crack jokes like Kevin Hart. No, it's not that complicated actually. That's a more extreme way of looking at things. Sure, those guys are high value, but that's way too extreme. You don't have to be a celebrity just to be a high value man. And also back to the traits that I discussed earlier, sure, it's important to have all those traits, but that is a guideline. It's not that it's only one way or another. If you don't make $100,000 a year, you're not high value. No, you could still be high value if, let's say, you make, $70,000 a year, right? As long as you're not completely broke. But you have another high value trait within you. For example, you just have this thing about you where when women talk to you, they feel so comfortable, they feel so safe around you. You're so confident within yourself, you're so calm and charming that they're just so compelled to talk to you. They're so compelled to reach out to you. They're so compelled to connect with you. The woman who connected with you feels like she's never connected this way with anyone before. That's very high value, and she will definitely see you as a high value man compared to a person, for example, who makes $200,000 a year, which is way more than you do, multiples of what you do, but she doesn't feel a connection with. She's gonna see you as high value, much more high value compared to the other guy. Maybe you're just hilarious and you make her feel good. Every time she talks to you, she just feels stress-free because you make her laugh and she's living in the moment and she's forgetting about all her stresses. Maybe that's it. The bottom line is you have an unfair advantage, and when you work on it with just some work, you can put yourself way ahead of the competition, way ahead of every other guy out there if you work on it and you do your diligence and you actually double down on it for a period of at least 6 months. So if becoming a high value man sounds like something that's very interesting to you, I want you to click on the video right now that's on the screen and watch the video, and you will benefit a lot from that. Until next time, bro. Peace.